Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Market cap 700. We are still around this line. When that happens, it's usually because Bitcoin comes to a halt. These altcoins have been filling out. So Bitcoin has been taking little pecks, here and there, taking little losses. But like I said, it builds up this steam. So getting right into it, Bitcoin 13.7. Ethereum's just been hanging strong, just under 1,300. Ripple had a little run, chilling at $2. Bitcoin Cash 2,600. Cardano actually took a big hit. Now it's slowly trying to creep back up on a dollar. Trying to creep back up on a dollar. Litecoin's just been chilling 233. And a lot of the questions and what I've been seeing recently when it comes to trends in crypto, people have been asking, where is the best store? Like, where do I store my value? Is it Bitcoin? Is Ethereum a better one? And I have a different approach to it. I think that the best way to store value in crypto is through diversity. If you don't have that much, then the best route is, in my opinion, what I would do is be a little bit more focused on trying to get there, right? If you're content, if you like it, if you just want to save your money and, in a less riskiest way possible, I would always diversify. I think it is very, all of these projects have a lot going for them, but they also have great feats. You got to think of Bitcoin and the Lightning Network. This is going to be huge because it's going to be a huge task. I mean, it's going to be huge in both ways, but if you think of how slow the SegWit adoption has been, this is going to be proved to be very time consuming. If you're thinking about how long it's going to take to set up these hubs, we are already hearing the first ones going on mainnet. No, there's a lot of people who are actually starting to step up and do that, but we still need to get SegWit installed, places like Coinbase. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this works, how this plays out. The thing about Bitcoin, though, it's been here for so long. It's never really faced what it's facing now, though, when you're talking about how high the fees actually are. So it's going to be a very interesting task. They do have, if Bitcoin can solve its scaling issue, that's the big deal right now. We've hit mass adoption, and now it's kind of like the brakes are being put on because, Ethereum it's getting so slow now. Very unreliable. I have to send it multiple times. It gets to be a big hassle. So we're steadily hitting that, and it's only going to get worse and worse because it's just like there's a cap in the supply of the coins, there's a cap in the scalability, and when that's hit, the fees are the only thing to alleviate it. And interesting enough, that's why you're seeing cheap coins, cheap fast coins. The thing about Bitcoin Cash is, it's fast. It's going to remain fast. The biggest argument is, though, what's going to happen to the price of running a node, of the mining. Not so much in can you afford it. I think a lot of people, one of the dangers that people don't look at with Bitcoin Cash is the fact that how environmentally unfriendly it's going to be, because it's going to need a lot more mining power. It's going to take up a lot more energy, especially, let's say Bitcoin Cash becomes mass adopted. We're talking 1 gig blocks, let's say 5 years down the road. That might be extreme, but let's just say, 5-10 years down the road, Moore's Law, we'll say, the blocks have reached that, and that way it can totally crush Visa. How unfriendly is that going to be to the environment? How much, so we have to think of things down the road in big scale. Bitcoin wants to keep it small. And in a weird way, they're playing it they're trying to be risk adverse in the fact that hard forks are bad. They know the obvious plan right now would to be a minimal, it's almost like SegWit 2x, But a hard fork at this point would be bad because you're always going to have somebody who's going to keep mining the 1 meg block, and then you're just going to split into 2 bit, and it's just going to become very, very nasty. So they're very, very intent on getting this solved with the 1 megabyte block. It's not actually 1 megabyte. If you talk about adoption of SegWit, it can make, you could fit more in the block. You can actually increase the block size. So there's some cool things when it hits, but right now shit is hitting the fan. The fees are very, very high. Merchants are dropping Bitcoin. If we get back to the store value, I still believe that it's in my portfolio. It's always going to be. It has so much potential, the most potential of any coin. And worst case scenario, even if it gets kicked around like rocks, people stop using it, the fees would go lower. The people are still going to be innovating on it. Once it is fixed, people will come right back to it. There's a lot of things on Bitcoin, a lot of new innovations that aren't going to be on some of these other coins. People say, hey, use Dogecoin if you want something cheap and fast. But we're talking about, people aren't so much, it's about security. And it's also about, with Dogecoin, we don't know what's going to happen if it had the mass users that Bitcoin has, right? Then that's the thing. Fees are going to go up. If the fees don't go up, you're either something like EOS that hasn't come out yet and yet to be proven, right? We still don't know what's going to happen with EOS. You can dedicate it to a few people. What Vitalik is saying is bad is, well, if you know who they are, then you can attack them. And it's going to be a battle. We're going to have to see what is going to be battle tested. Bitcoin is battle tested, though. That's the one thing that people can't say it isn't. Ethereum, it's getting there. Lots of hacks, lots of money lost. So a lot to be seen. So I like to diversify. I put some in Bitcoin. I put some in Ethereum. I put some in Bitcoin Cash. I have some in EOS. I like Neo. I like the platforms. I think the platforms are smart contracts, albeit a lot of them. I think that they have a long ways to go. And also, if we're talking about HPB is a coin I was looking at. Interesting. It deals with hardware, but it also deals with an EOS-like blockchain. So they had, Neo is an advisor. Normally, when someone says that to me, then I say, well, that's why I just invest in Neo, because Neo's the advisor, right? It's going to be, the gains aren't going to be insane, but they're going to be steady, and that's how it's been. But for these cheaper, newer coins, it's on Bitbox. I actually like Bitbox. It's probably going to be something like the next KuCoin. Binance, it has the same setup. Very interesting coin. Not something I'm going to put a huge chunk into, but if you're talking about, I've never heard the approach with the hardware involved, and that's one of the things that is very, very interesting, especially if you're talking about Neo. If you look at what Neo's doing, it's kind of like a spider, and it's just putting its web everywhere, and it's partnering and advising all these different niche blockchains and all these different areas and hardware. I haven't seen anything about that. So very interesting coin. Another coin, people keep asking me, what's a no limit coin surprise game? I can't talk about that, obviously. I'm excited about it, but just stay tuned. I can't even tell the launch date. Just very excited about it, but people hit me up all the time. I'll save you a little bit of time. Can't talk about it. Stay tuned. It's gonna be fun. That's why I really like about crypto. I just love all the innovations, all the things happening, all the excitement. Also, with that said, 2018 is going to be a big year, and with big years come big bubbles. There's going to be a lot of coins. People are always chasing these green. It's going to give Bitcoin, it's going to give crypto a bad name when some of these pop. Some of these evaluations are just crazy. A lot of people say they're over-warranted. The potential, then it's not unwarranted. But if we're talking about use case right now, how much money, people, if you go into a Shark Tank, they want to know how much money you've done, what, all this stuff in the future. Nowhere have you seen these evaluations like this. This is because you have a lot of non-professionals that are investing. What does that mean? Does that mean that a lot of them go to zero? No, something like EOS, I believe, is going to be around. Even if it did crash. It's a little bit fairy tale to give it this evaluation, though, because like we said, if you sold every single coin at top dollar, then yes. So in a way, it's a very interesting thing was happening with crypto, because a lot of them are blowing it up saying, hey man, is ADA really worth $21 billion, or Ripple, 76 billion. Yeah, if they sold every coin at $2, but that's not going to happen. You would crash the market to zero. It'd be worthless at that point. You wouldn't be able to sell all your coins. So then you have to give it, a more realistic. It'd be cool if there was a website that did that, give you a more realistic market cap of what it would be if, people tried to mass get out, because that is what you want in a project. You kind of want, like, what is your worst case scenario? Is there still value even if everyone wants out? That's why I like things like No Limit Coin. Even if everyone wanted out, it doesn't matter. There's going to be people who play the game. The bet is that people are going to play fantasy sports, sign up, need the coin. So you really don't need investors. And when a coin is too investor driven, that's when I get a little sketched out. When it's like just investors, just speculation. Things like Ethereum, yeah, you can say it's speculation, but they have their roots down. Ethereum, things are happening. It's bubbling. There's substance here. Bitcoin has it's trial ready. It's been here forever. Attacked, survived Bitcoin Cash, survived hard fork, survived everything. If it survives this fee fiasco, then it's going to be around. Definitely wouldn't bet against Bitcoin. EOS, yeah, that's more speculation, but you're also betting on a future team. That's the thing about crypto. It's very, very risky. It's why I stay diversified. But other than that, when you're talking about just when someone can make a video and the coin goes up 1,000,000%, there's no substance there. You want to be really looking for these coins that not only have a product, but have a product that people are actually going to use. There's a lot of these futuristic things. People come out saying, oh, it's going to be this and that and this. Well, looking at partnerships, looking at, things that are really happening. I like how Walton Coin is making all these partnerships. A lot of these coins on the low key are doing that. And those are the ones that I like. I like things that are actually happening in the real world. Civic is being used left and right. Syscoin's about to be used massively. It's supposed to be millions of products launched this year. So keeping this video a little bit short. Hope everyone has a good weekend. Cheers. Peace.